Awesome. All right, so first, I would like to start with the land acknowledgement. I'm extremely thankful and grateful to call Treaty 7 territory my home. And I'd love this video, and I would like to share it with everyone. Now, hopefully everyone can hear and see.
What is land acknowledgement?
Before we go ahead, confirmation that people can hear it.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Those of us that are continuing our oral history are blessed. What we shared, that was told from way back.
We were part of the ecosystem. We were not masters of it.
You know, after we grow up from our biological mothers, the earth becomes our caregiver. Everything that we need is there.
We were raised to believe that everything has a spirit, and that everything around us is alive and has a purpose.
The spirit of the land and our spirit. You can't separate land and people.
In Treaty 7 territory, I'm accepted, I'm something, and I'm with my people.
We honor our ancestors by acknowledging Treaty 7 territory. We acknowledge the Treaty 7 nations, the Piikani First Nation, the Siksika First Nation, the Kainai First Nation, the Stoney Nakoda First Nations, and the Tsuut'ina First Nation. We acknowledge the ancestral territory of the Siksikaitsitapi, the Blackfoot Confederacy, and the home of Métis Region number 3.
All right, so after that, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Bea. It's pronounced as written, Bea. I'm an employer coach at Goodwill Industries of Alberta. And today, as I said, we will be discussing funding for people with disabilities and what that means for employers. So a little bit about Goodwill. Goodwill is more than just the thrift stores that you see around town. It's a nonprofit dedicated to helping Albertans with disabilities secure meaningful employment. So when you donate gently used items, we sell them in our stores. This not only supports sustainability by recycling, reusing, or repairing, but it also directly funds programs designed to train and employ individuals with disabilities. The Employer Inclusion Accelerator Program is one of Goodwill's key outreach initiatives. So we support employers by offering services such as policy reviews, optimizations, such as one-pagers, informative posters, and personalized training for your team. We also provide hiring supports. We coach employers. We do community engagement, such as these lunch and learns, tours of the Impact Center, and networking events. And we connect employers with resources. So understanding disability funding programs like AISH, PDD, and EAF is crucial for both individuals and employers. These programs provide essential financial supports and foster independence, inclusion, and accessibility in the workplace. For individuals, these programs offer stability and opportunities to pursue meaningful careers. And for employers, they simplify the process of hiring and retaining talented employees with disabilities. Leveraging these supports helps businesses build diverse, inclusive environments that benefit everyone involved. Also, if I'm talking too fast, please let me know, because I tend to do that. All right, so just at a glance, a quick cheat sheet before we start. So AISH is income support for people with disabilities. PDD helps with job coaching on the job. EAF is funding to make your workspace more inclusive. And CDB is the new Canada Disability Benefit, which basically is financial support, additional financial support due to inflation. So let's dive into AISH. AISH, or Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped, is an Alberta government program that offers monthly income to people with disabilities. It encourages meaningful employment, but with limits. So the maximum amount an individual with AISH can get is $1,901. And due to the cost of living in Alberta, many individuals with disabilities seek and gain employment, as they don't feel that the amount given by AISH is enough. That said, the amount of money that they earn from the job goes against their AISH amount, which is called a clawback. For an individual living alone, the first $1,072 is fully exempt, meaning that whatever they make under that will not go against their AISH. And for an individual with a family or a partner or anything like that, the amount becomes $2,612. This means that any income that they earn from work will not affect their AISH payments up to $1,072 or $2,612. Okay, so if an individual's income surpasses these amounts, the clawback reduces the remaining income by 50% for a maximum of $1,541. In which case, if a single individual earns a total of $1,360, the first $1,072 is totally exempt. The remaining $288 is reduced by 50%, meaning their AISH income subtracts $144. Now, this might be a little bit confusing. I have a practical example coming up. And then after we're done the AISH part, if you have any questions or if you want to keep them for the end, I'll be happy to clarify that. It's a bit confusing when there's so many numbers, but hopefully it will make sense. So here's a practical example. The amount of AISH an individual is assigned varies by the need and situation, but the typical amount is $1,901. If we subtract the clawback from the typical AISH amount, it is $1,757. So to this amount, we would add the total employment income, which is $3,117. And just a reminder, the $1,757 is the total AISH amount minus the clawback, which was, I'm just going to move the slide back, which was this $288. And so at the end of the month, the individual with a job and AISH would have a take-home pay or take-home income of $3,117. And why do people kind of accept that that's their limit in earning? Because even when capable of working more, many individuals with disabilities choose not to, because above assured income, AISH also provides coverage for prescription, dental, optical, and essential medical supplies. Losing AISH or making more money doesn't always, so losing AISH will mean losing access to these life-sustaining treatments, and oftentimes the additional income doesn't outweigh the benefits. So what does this mean for employers? Honestly, the short answer is not much. The individuals with disabilities do the reporting to the AISH office, so that's not something the employer has to take on. And the employer is not really required to do anything other than process regular pay through payroll. What you can do as an employer to support your employees with disabilities is to just ask, say, you know, like, how are you doing with your AISH? Do you want to work more hours? Do you want to work less hours? And sometimes employees will be like, well, I'm just a few cents off an hour, and you can kind of like work that out with the employee, it's like themselves. Again, all of the AISH amounts are different, all the situations are different, so really the only thing you can do is talk to your employee, but there is nothing you as an employer need to do. Next up, we have a video of the rallies that have been going on in Edmonton about AISH and the Canadian Disability Benefit. And so it's just a 2-minute video. I'm going to start it and then make sure that everyone can hear it. Here we go.
Wix
Yeah.
gives you the freedom to tell your story. Disability.
Everyone can hear it? Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes.
Yes.
Awesome, thank you.
Advocates in Edmonton gathering Tuesday here at the Alberta legislature, calling out the province's decision to claw back $200 in federal benefits from those living on provincial income support.
$200 a month, like you said, that's, in some cases, that's the difference between I need to go to the food bank and I don't need to go to the food bank.
Dan Peterson has a mobility disability and is not able to work more than 20 hours a week. He says he's frustrated he won't get the $200 monthly amount through the new federal program.
I worry as someone who works part-time while living on AISH.
With the cost of rent and other bills and food, it's kind of hard to make ends meet on just what we get.
The rally comes in response to a recent move by the province to not pass the new Canada Disability Benefit to those living with disabilities and receive the assured income for the severely handicapped, known as AISH.
So a lot of my AISH goes towards rent, not to mention the fact that the price of groceries is going up, and, finding employment is also a challenge.
Albertans with disabilities are tired of being treated last. There's been no communication on how that's going to impact those that can't work full-time.
There are approximately 77,000 Albertans on AISH with a maximum payment per person of $1,901 a month. Minister Jason Nixon defending the clawback, saying the province plans to keep AISH payments the same.
We have regulations that have been in place under this government, the NDP government, the PC government, to calculate individuals' income. Income that you receive from the federal government, including things like Canadian Pension Plan, are part of the calculation of income. Alberta has the highest AISH payments in the country.
Well, quite frankly, we're tired of that rhetoric. It's equivalent to bragging about the highest steaming pile of garbage. The other provinces certainly are lagging. All they had to do is increase the eligibility cap for how much you can earn on AISH.
The protest is also hoping to put pressure on Alberta to join other Canadian provinces to pass an Accessibility Act to make sure those living with disability are treated equally. From the Alberta Legislature in Edmonton, Hiba Kamal Shufi, City News.
So yeah, I thought that video was really interesting, especially kind of the last section where Zachary was saying basically what people with disabilities are asking for is to be able to work more. They're not really asking for handouts, they're asking to be able to work more and be able to sustain themselves. So I thought that was really interesting. Let's move on to the next slide, which is about the Canada Disability Benefit. So this is not actually out yet. It's coming in July, and it's intended as relief for individuals that are on AISH and other individuals with disabilities to support them and give them kind of a cushion during these times of inflation, like they said, high cost of rent, high cost of groceries, and And for some people, like they mentioned in the video, it is the difference between going to a food bank or not. The Canadian Disability Benefits provides a maximum of $200 a month. And it's actually estimated to go between July 2025 and June 2026. So it's only a 1-year program. Now we can move on to PDD, or persons with developmental disabilities. Unless someone has questions about AISH, or if we want to do them after, that's okay too. Let me see if I can check the chat from here. You can hear it, perfect.
Does the person have to actually apply for that $200, or does it happen automatically if they're on AISH?
Yeah, if you're on AISH, you just kind of automatically you're going to receive it, which I think is good because we don't need more applications getting lost in desks and stuff. Okay, I will move on to PDD, if everyone's okay with that. Okay. So, what is PDD, or persons with developmental disabilities? So PDD is a program designed to support individuals with developmental disabilities and supporting them in living more independently and becoming active members of their communities. This support is tailored to each individual's needs and may include a personalized support plan. In our case of employment, it's especially important because they offer job coaching and employment services opportunities. But they also offer opportunities for community participation and daily living supports. Okay, move on to the next slide. Okay, my computer is being very slow. Okay, perfect. So how does PDD work? So the individual with disabilities, and this is kind of an example, kind of what something that we would see at Goodwill because we focus on employment. So the individual with disabilities would request a service or support to their PDD worker. The PDD worker would then connect the individual with the organization that mirrors the individual's request. And then the PDD office pays directly for the service. So no funds are going to the individual. Like it's not a I pay you, you pay them. It's just directly done for them. And I have an actual example. So for example, Joe is an individual with a developmental disabilities. He is interested in finding employment and requests support from his PDD worker, Kate. Kate connects Joe with the Goodwill Path to Employment program, which is our program that uses PDD to connect people with disabilities to employment. And so while Joe works with Goodwill, Kate, on behalf of the PDD programs, issues payments directly to Goodwill. I hope that was clear and made sense. So what does PDD look like for employers? Again, basically, it's just a gain. There's nothing, no cost, nothing that you have to do. So programs like Goodwill's Career Connections can support the employers with job coaching to help employees with developmental disabilities develop workplace skills and adjust to job tasks. How this happens is usually the new hire or employee already comes with a PDD worker. And by PDD worker, in this case, I mean someone from Goodwill supporting them. So you don't have to go out and call around and say, is there anyone that is paid by PDD that can help Joe? Joe would already be connected with an employment specialist that's paid from PDD. And our EIA program, even though it's not PDD funded, can help employers receive guidance to kind of implement more accommodations. And again, these programs are at no cost to employers. Is there any questions about PDD before we move on?
No.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so the EAF. I've got to admit, this is one of my favorites. It's also the one that I have the most experience with. So EAF provides financial supports directly to employers and community organizations to make their physical and overall establishment accessible for individuals with disabilities. EAF provides funding for things such as ramps, automatic doors, lifts, and elevators, but they also provide funding for training on disability topics for your employees or your leadership teams. They also provide screen readers, voice to text, and honestly, any other assistive technology or anything else that you as a workspace would need to create an inclusive workplace. It also provides funding to create inclusive jobs. And that means job carving, which if you don't know what that means, job carving is creating opportunities for people with disabilities that maybe have different needs and different experiences, and kind of creating their own position. Unfortunately, as of today, the Enabling Accessibility Fund has not yet opened. It hasn't opened since last year, but you can check the status of the grant on the Government of Canada website. I should also mention this is for all kinds of organizations, so it doesn't matter if you're for profit, not for profit, if you're a business or if you're just like an organization. It doesn't matter what, it's open to everyone. Are there any questions about the EAF or the Enabling Accessibility Fund? Okay, then I'm going to add that it was actually really hard to find other government issued grants of this kind, but there are some private grants that you can find online, and a lot of them are half. So you pay 50%, for example, and they match your 50% on creating some like accessibility equipment that, again, like lifts, power doors, literally anything you can think of that you're like, oh, like this could support individuals with disabilities. Some may also be sensory rooms, literally pretty much anything. Like your website, it could also be part of the EAF or a private inclusion and accessibility grant. Okay, so we are reaching the end of our presentation. So I would like to kind of go over what we learned. So AISH provides basic income supports as well as the other health benefits, and it encourages employment with income exemptions. Employers play a key role by maintaining regular payroll process. Collaboration can facilitate reporting for employees that are receiving AISH. But again, everyone's case is different, so it's really much just like asking what you need. PDD offers personalized supports like job coaching and workplace skills development at no cost to the employers. EAF supports employers financially to create accessible workplaces and inclusive jobs, but it's currently closed. And the CDB, or the Canada Disability Benefits, that starts in July, offers additional financial supports to individuals with disabilities affected by inflation. So that is it for me. Do we have any questions? Oh, gosh.
Will Goodwill help us find or be connected with an employee
Yep.
who's on AISH?
Yes, just let me just open this to this page so I can see you. Oh gosh. Okay, how did I do this earlier? So sorry. Just give me 35 seconds. I'm just going to. Oh gosh. Okay, so you can see this.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yes, currently in Calgary, there are no career connection programs, but there are different programs that we are partnered with. Some are Vicova, and they have employees, or I guess participants who would like to be employed, who are on AISH and or PDD. And there's also DCRC, which same things. They offer the training, so they offer the PDD training, and they have people currently looking for jobs. All right.
How about in Edmonton?
In Edmonton, Goodwill actually has the PDD program, and so they would be able to provide you with resumes and names of individuals. Are you currently working with an employer coach?
No.
No. Okay, so you see this email, the EIA at Goodwill. If you send an email there, we can connect you with an employer coach, and who then can connect you with a PDD job development specialist who is connected to actual individuals with disabilities. We also have sorry.
Sorry, Donna, we've connected in the past. You can feel free to email me.
Perfect. I thought I saw you on there. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. I was just gonna add, we also have a kind of group of like a network of partners that are often presenting us with people that want to be employed. So we often share job postings with them as well.
I have a question, please, or a comment.
Okay.
You mentioned that the Canadian disability benefit will be automatically given to those with AISH. That is incorrect.
Okay, my apologies. I did read on the AISH website that it was, but
it's according to the government website. The process will be announced in June of 2025, and it's expected to involve applying through the My Service account, My Service Canada account.
So for whoever asked me earlier, I'm sorry that I was mistaken. So, and unfortunately, that's not something that Goodwill helps people with, but I'm sure there are plenty other organizations that do. Yeah, so I apologize for that mistake.
And just to, it's Estella here from Make a Difference Through Inclusion. There's constant changes, and you know, your apologies is not necessary because there's always changes that are occurring, and it's almost like day by day. So glad that you're even putting this together, that the Goodwill has put this together, because I, being a mother, as well with a person with disability, as well as having a company that focuses on accessibility from a communication perspective, it is constantly challenging to gather all this type of information. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. And we know that it is also our responsibility to always check and validate if things change. So just letting you know.
Thank you, Stella. Okay, do you know more about grants for post-secondary institution involved in? I'm not sure what WIL means. If you could just specify that.
I'm familiar with some grants that occur for both youth secondary institutions. So like, for example, U of C, as well as Bow Valley. They typically do have grants that are up to 7,000 or, and it could be either 50% to 75%, depending on the youth's, requirements and the company. But there's quite a bit, actually. There should be about, if I recall, there's about 4 or 5 specific institution type of grants for secondary grant. So, and some of them are internship type of grants.
Okay, thank you so much, Estella. Sorry, I was busy writing, so I didn't hear some of those names. Like there's some I've been researching, but there's still some, I feel like there's quite a bit more. It's kind of out of my area, so I'm trying to learn more about these grants. Thank you.
I can definitely share that with Bea, and if she has everybody's number, it's one of these things that you gotta just, share with everybody, because we want as many people hired as possible, right? So we'll definitely do that. And there are a lot of youth interns that are looking for jobs right now.
Okay.
Yes. Estelle and I have worked together for a long time, so I'll be happy to. I'm actually very grateful that she is here. She is actually probably my mentor. So yes, I'm very happy that she's here and she's supporting me with this. So yeah, I'll be happy to share whatever with whomever. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes. Is there any other questions?
And for me.
Okay, so I see in the chat from a few moments ago, well, like a few minutes ago, Amy asking if the slides will be shared. I don't see why not. We'll share the recording for sure. I don't see why we wouldn't share the slides. If someone from my team has a better answer, please feel free to jump in.
Yes, we can definitely share that, Bea.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yes.